watching boxing.
Do you have a favorite fighter now that's active?
Right now, Asian like Naoya,
Inoue, amazing fight.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, and I hope that he will accomplish in different weight division also.
Any possibility that you would go back in the ring and fight someone like a Tank Davis?
If he wants, and if he come up to 147, then we can fight.
He can't meet you at 140?
145 maybe.
I know it might sound crazy, but you brought up Inoue. Like, do you foresee potentially at someday you guys meeting together, maybe at a catchweight, or maybe if he keeps going up in weight?
Probably.
Yeah.
That would be like a fun fight.
Be crazy.
Yeah, that would be a fun fight. Now that would be technical. That fight right there, like me and him. But I think I'll be too big for.
Some fantasy fights spark debates, others haunt you. Inoue versus Gervonta Davis is the latter two undefeated champions from opposite ends of the world, each with a style engineered to break the other. Inoue, the monster, is all precision and brutality, every punch calculated, every angle deliberate, the kind of speed you don't register until it's too late. Davis, known as Tank, fights with calm menace, stalking with patience, then ending it all. With one violent, unseen shot. If they ever met, it wouldn't just be a super fight, it would be a test of philosophies, and Pacquiao has chosen his winner.
Gervonta Davis and Inoue?
If they were in the same weight class.
Inoue.
Why is that? Why does Inoue beat Gervonta if they could have figured out a fight?
Inoue is fast.
Inoue's fast.
Inoue is fast.
Is Gervonta part of your plans down the future?
Remember, in boxing,
One sentence was all it took to spark the fire when an 8-division legend like Pacquiao picks speed over power. The world listens. But this wasn't just a headline, it was inside a glimpse into how one of boxing's greatest minds sees the matchup. Inoue over Davis, not the KO artist, but the technician, not the wrecking ball, but the scalpel. Why? That's what this breakdown uncovers, what Pacquiao saw, what fans missed, and why, even if the fight never happens, it might have already revealed something deeper about greatness, timing, and the anatomy of a win. This isn't just another what-if fight, this is the kind of hypothetical that tests boxing's deepest question: what really wins a fight, timing or tempo, precision or pressure? And according to one of the greatest to ever step in the ring, the answer might already be clear. It was short, casual, almost tossed out mid-sentence, but when Manny Pacquiao said, "Inoue announcing speed is the key," the internet didn't hear a comment, it heard a verdict coming from someone else. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but Pacquiao built an empire on speed, not just quickness, but controlled chaos. He beat men bigger, stronger, and more hyped, because he made them miss, then punished them before they could think. So when he says Inoue's speed would be the deciding factor against a knockout artist like Gervonta Davis, you listen, because Manny knows what it's like to walk into the ring as the smaller man. He knows what it's like to feel outgunned on paper, only to dominate in motion. One in history for me, that's exactly what he sees in Inoue. Not just speed for show, but purposeful velocity. Inoue doesn't waste punches, he sets traps, he angles, then he strikes before his opponent's brain has caught up with their body. It's the kind of timing that isn't just fast, it's terrifying, and for Pacquiao that's the edge Davis has never faced. Tank is a master of waiting. He lets you get comfortable, then turns the lights off. With a single shot, it worked against Santa Cruz, it worked against Raleigh, it worked even when he was behind on the cards. But what happens when you never get that opening? That's what Pacquiao is hinting at. This isn't a knock on Davis. Pacquiao respects power, he's been dropped by it, he's dished it out. But he's always said the same thing: you can't hit what you can't catch. And when he watches Inoue, he sees a fighter who not only moves but controls movement, a fighter who forces you to reset, then punishes you for trying. In his mind, that beats the ambush, that beats the bomb. Ina doesn't need to knock you out cold, he breaks you clean. And Manny knows in a fight where the margin of error is this small, where one mistake ends it all, speed isn't just a weapon, it's survival. And maybe that's why the comment sounded so simple, because for Pacquiao, it is simple in a word. Sometimes it really just comes down to one thing: who lands first. To understand why this dream fight is so divisive, you have to break them down, not by hype, not by narrative, but by mechanics, because Inoue and Gervonta Davis are two of the most complete fighters in the world today. But the way they win couldn't be more different. Inoue is surgical, everything from his jab to his body shots is programmed with intention. He doesn't just react, he anticipates. His footwork isn't flashy, but it's efficient. He closes distance like a phantom. His punch timing is so sharp most opponents don't even know which hand landed. Inoue Doesn't waste energy, he doesn't need to, his mastery is in control, every round is a chess match, and he's always 3 moves ahead. Gervonta is the opposite side of the same coin, where Inoue is clean, Davis is cruel, he's the definition of danger in stillness, he walks you down like he's sleepwalking, shoulders slightly turned, eyes fixed, and just when you think he's coasting, he detonates. Tank doesn't need volume, he just needs a window.